Hey, we're back again live from Fenton High School, room 1205. Hey, next thing we want to look at, since we're talking about point of difference, product differentiation, art house movies, positioning, repositioning. Hey, let's look at the video about fashion statements at the University of Oregon. It's pretty amazing what they were trying to do. Yes, I know it takes some time for the video to turn on, but it will be worth it. So hold on. Just think about the Cubs winning the World Series for the first time in 2 zillion years. So hopefully this will show buffering, and naturally we have to watch a lemonade commercial.
Iced tea at a lemonade stand? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Marin saved by switching to Geico.
When the Oregon Ducks defeated the Wisconsin Badgers in last week's Rose Bowl, they looked less like football players and more like comic book superheroes, sporting mirrored special edition helmets that had never been worn before. Oh, wow! Can you believe that? In fact, the Ducks haven't worn the same exact uniform for 2 games in a row since 2004. Portland-based Nike has outfitted the Ducks since 1996. Todd Van Horn is the designer.
We're getting lighter weight. We've got stretch panels through here. It's completely 360-degree material, zone ventilation through a lot of this. So we're bringing out.
The changes, he says, are all in the service of performance. Now, the duck wings are very functional.
That's the primary intent. It has a durability. It protects from, the hits from other helmets or chin straps or, face guards that would actually nick the material itself. So it makes it stronger.
But this is about more than functionality.
Who are you wearing? Who are you wearing tonight?
This season alone, the Ducks wore 8 different jerseys, 6 pants, 5 helmets, 6 different shoes, and 4 sock colors. A staggering number of possible combinations.
Oregon over the last decade or so has really pioneered the idea that nothing is out of bounds. We can do anything, we can push the envelope, and that really what we stand for is constant change.
So that's become their tradition.
Yeah, exactly.
ESPN's Paul Lucas is founder of UniWatch.com. He says college football uniforms have been changing ever since colleges have played football. In the beginning, uniforms were made of wool and had long sleeves. And were the helmets cloth or leather?
Well, first there were no helmets. In the beginning, some players used a little device that strapped around their head and just covered their nose. It was like a little shield that covered their nose area, and that was the first quote-unquote helmet or face mask or face guard.
As for why today's players wear their jerseys skin tight,
it's really about this hand-to-hand combat, and anything hand-to-hand, you don't want those hands to be grabbing.
It looks like it fits you really well.
Yeah.
Some grab points for the opponents are here,
Right.
so I think you're game ready.
the Ducks have turned the gridiron into a catwalk, and other schools are following suit. Maryland's Terrapins were cheered and cheered when they debuted their Maryland Pride uniforms, taking the state's flag and wrapping the players in it.
The biggest thing is, people are talking about Maryland, and they're talking about the uniforms. And anytime anybody's talking about you, it's all good.
If you think these uniforms are a little too fashion-forward, don't tell Coach Randy Edsel. Would you ever think of sending the offensive line up to Fashion Week in New York?
With our uniforms? Oh, most definitely. They'd be the hit. Seeing them big guys walking out there with those uniforms, when we had our show here, the runway, those guys were a hit.
Yes, the Maryland players had a runway show featuring this season's collection. this year, even tradition-bound Notre Dame succumbed to the pressure to flash up their look. We wondered if other squads should change up their look, so we brought in Barney's creative director Simon Doonan for some fashion advice. Modeling for us, Columbia University football players Nick and Mike. Simon, Nick is wearing Wyoming.
This feels very spring to me. When it's sharp, it's crisp, it's good on the runway, but most importantly, right, it's good on the football field.
And he had only kudos for Arizona State's Sun Devils.
I love it. The burgundy looks incredible on the field, you know, with all that green.
But when it came to Hawaii's Rainbow Warriors,
well, I have to say, I'm a little disappointed. Hawaii, one thinks of luau's and tiki and all that great iconography.
it seems like a little bit tiki there. Is that right? But you want more?
This is very subtle tiki. To me, subtle tiki is no tiki. I want my tiki full on.
Yeah.
The sports trouser could also be printed a la grass skirt. Hello, a photo print, you know? Now we're getting creative.
By now, you may be wondering, why does any of this matter? Paul Lucas says a uniform may tell you a lot about a team's heritage, but he doesn't think it has much to do with their success on the field.
You take a school like Nebraska, and they have one of the plainer-looking uniforms, they have a really plain helmet with a hand on it, you know, and they sell out every game. So obviously the uniforms aren't what's driving attendance there. It's their history, it's their heritage, it's their success. Nothing was better on the field at the end of the game than having more points than your opponent.
A flashy uniform may not mean more points, but it does mean more dollars.
The biggest thing that has changed in terms of what drives it is that when you and I were kids, you couldn't go and buy a jersey. That market didn't exist. They hadn't figured out that someone would drop $200 for a polyester shirt. And now that they know people will do that, well, you already bought this year's jersey. Well, if we change our jersey next year, you'll go buy another one. And so that's like the merchandising tail wags the on-field dog in a way that it wasn't necessary or even possible 34 years ago.
And while the Oregon Ducks may be trendsetters and Rose Bowl champs, Maryland ended the season with 2 wins and 10 losses.
It's one thing to look like a clown and win, then you're a winner. If you look like a clown and lose, you're just a clown.
All right, now you can answer these questions on your own, but I think it was a pretty good idea. Okay, sorry, I was interrupted by the custodian and Julia Gangsky. Anyhow, moving on. The next really important thing that you really need to memorize is the product life cycle. IGMD is what I call it. And all products have a life cycle, period. Even the products that you introduced to the class, which were outstanding. There's 4 stages. You have the introduction stage, the growth stage, the maturity stage, and decline stage. And you need to know the characteristics of each one of those stages. And guess what? This is going to be on your semester exam. I believe this is one of the 2 essay questions to list the product life cycle, the 4 stages, and describe each cycle. I just say IGMA. It's the what do you got? Introduction stage, the growth, maturity, and the decline stages. All right, if you notice, just by looking at this chart, introduction stage, obviously the product is being introduced, profits are fairly low, but as time goes on, as it becomes more popular, it's growing. It reaches the growth stage. It still hasn't peaked in this matter of sales and profits. Usually at the maturity stage, this is where you reach your peak profit, you make the most amount of money, and then eventually you reach the decline stage where your profits start to drop. So during the introduction stage, the product is new, and it might hopefully is sort of like a novelty, so people are interested in your product. The new product may become popular, and it continues to grow, or it may fail to catch on, and obviously the person who came up with the product will have to go bankrupt or leave the business. It's the least profitable stage of the product life cycle. Here, check some of these products out.
Here we go.
check out some of these products for 2016.
As the years go by, technology just keeps advancing, and we can't wait to find out what's in store.
You put it on, everybody in the family takes a turn on the controllers, everybody takes a turn on the headset.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most anticipated tech products of 2016.
It calculates your heart rate, respiration rate, and other parameters necessary for precise analysis of your body signals.
For this list, we're only including the newest and most innovative products from the tech industry that we can expect to hit the market in 2016. So while we are certainly looking forward to the release of the Nintendo NX, we will likely have to wait until 2017 to get our hands on it, so it won't be on here. Number 10, PlayStation VR. This is Sony's answer to the Oculus Rift. Originally introduced to the public as Project Morpheus in 2014, the PlayStation VR is the electronics giant's latest effort into the world of virtual reality. The prototype supports a beautiful OLED display, 6 degrees of freedom head tracking software, and has the ability to show visuals at over 120 frames per second, opening up an entirely new world for gamers. While the gadget was still in development as of the end of 2015, there was already a lengthy library of video games set to illustrate the machine's abilities. Unfortunately, no official release date has been announced for the VR just yet, but you can hopefully try to snag your own headset in the first half of 2016.
For $5 zillion.
Number 9, Aura.
Aura is a ring-sized wellness computer that measures your pulse waveform and the exact time between your heartbeats.
Let's move away from the video game world for just a bit and dive into the world of health.
All right, that's pretty
Track your
boring.
daily cardio and sleep patterns, but also issues.
All right, moving
More
on.
than one style, and you know that music isn't far behind. Brought to us by the British tech startup Roly, the Seaboard Rise is the classic keyboard clashing with modernity. With a rubber exterior and a minimal amount of keys, the Rise can be manipulated to your heart's content to produce an entirely new range of sounds.
All right, blah, blah,
Number
blah.
7, Diet Sensor.
Creates a diet sensor, the first instant nutrition.
Oh my gosh, who'd want that? Oh, get out of here.
This is near-infrared.
If anything, let alone the internet, has there been a meat lover's pizza?
The mobile industry is booming and will not be slowing down anytime. Company's next generation of mobile phones. Despite that goal, though, rumors have it that the next Galaxy won't differ much in appearance from the last. Good to impress phablet.
The industry's really going to start taking off over the next couple of years.
To capture 300R technology and make it more acceptance and play with virtual reality technology. Be prepared.
Movies to new heights with Eclipse Reference Premier Dolby Atmos speakers.
It's time to expand your movie viewing and music listening experience. The newest.
All right, I'm running out of time here, so I don't want to keep watching these videos. You can watch this on your own if you choose to. It's incredible. Some of the products coming out. And I'm almost out. Yeah, there we go. There's another one. Introduction stage, Oregon. Cheerleaders wearing logoed contacts. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that looks like somebody I want to be with. Whew, scary, but obviously they became very popular, or you're hoping they become very popular in the introduction stage, introducing the product, a new product, hopefully to the clientele, and hopefully it catches fire. All right, now we're back to we're going to watch the Basketball Sports video, but unfortunately I'm going to run out of time for my freebie, so I will be back, and we'll come back to this one. This is a weird sport.